Hey guys, welcome to the secret to offense as it relates to puck control, breakout, and zone entry, brought to you by Brianstormed. This is going to be a combo video where I'm going to talk about all three topics at the same time just because I don't think I can really talk about just one of these topics for like more than 5 minutes. I'm going to be showing you guys Hockey Ultimate Team gameplay from my Your Ultimate Team series where I play like 8 or 9 games, but I'm only going to be focusing on every play that involves breaking out, entering his zone, or holding onto the puck. Hopefully if you guys see all of my successful ways of doing all that, you can be more used to what you should be doing and try to avoid pretty much anything else. So when it comes to breaking out and zone entry, the most important thing that you guys should be doing is passing to the man that's furthest up. This gives you the most space and the most time to do whatever you want, leaving all the players behind the puck carrier all the way in the back. But there are some exceptions, like if the person's obviously being defended really well and there's no way you can get in the puck, then you don't want to do that. But generally, the idea is pass to the man furthest up. I like this play regarding zone entry, that's why I'm going to show it again, and I'm going to slow it down for you as well. While normally your players will not be offside, the idea here is you get the puck and then go back a little bit behind the center line, force him to push up before you pass it straight up, and enter his zone because there are a lot less players ready to defend you. You'll see me do this multiple times throughout the video to enter my opponent's zone. It's especially effective against the guys who run the 1-4 strategy, the 0-5 strategy, or the 1-3-1 strategy. And that's just based on their formation along their own blue line. Many times what I like to do when I enter my opponent's zone is curve outward toward the blue line and then do a simple little pass to a guy entering the zone from the middle like I do here. So I'm protecting the puck by pushing right on the right stick while also moving my left stick to the right. This gives me a really good opportunity to go towards the slot and take a high percentage shot, which in this case his goalie saves. When you're trying to enter the opponent's zone, you should always keep an eye out on who your opponent is controlling and always try to go towards the opposite side. If your opponent's controlling the guy next to you, you don't really want to try to just like go towards him, run into him, because when he's a competent defender, he knows that playing passively is the key to success. You'd want to go towards the opposite side, make him switch players around, and kind of sometimes get screwed by EA's player changing system. So that means it'll take him longer to get into position to be able to defend you. Some guys, they don't like to play defense, and you'll always be going up against the computers. The best way to play against the computers in breaking out is just go full speed, just blow right by them, unless you're using like some really slow players like Tavares or Kopitar, where then you have to kind of play towards their strengths and go for dekes and dangles instead. Since I always build my team around speed, I know that going full speed is usually the way to go. In my passing video, I showed you guys how to make passes along the blue line to enter the zone as well. How you can pass it ahead of players like I do here so that the puck makes it over the zone first. So now let's talk about the big secret on puck control, and that's making sure that your body is always between the opposing player and the puck like it is here. This makes it really hard for my opponent to poke check the puck away from me. If he goes for the poke check, he's likely going to get a tripping penalty. And you have to make sure you do that everywhere in every situation, not just on the breakout, but also in the defensive zone, when you're in the offensive zone cycling the puck. Even when you're standing still, your opponent's trying to take the puck away from you, do a little poke check. Make sure that you're stick handling with the right stick and putting the right stick at like 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, depending on which way your player shoots, to protect the puck at all times. Keep in mind, though, you never want to have it at 5 or 7 o'clock when you're trying to take a shot, because your shot is usually less powerful. You want to push it forward a little bit before you take the shot, so that it's way better. So I told you guys about going full speed to make it past players, but that's not always the best thing to do, as some players will try to cut you off and pretty much meet you where you're going. And it's at that point you have to be a lot more patient with the puck when you are entering the zone. You have to find openings. Always go towards the open space. Don't hold down the left stick, which is what you would do if you want to go full speed, but instead protect the puck a little bit by holding the left and the right stick towards one direction, and then when your opponent bites towards one side, that's when you go towards the other side. Or buying all that time could allow you to do a quick little pass to somebody that's open, that can enter the zone with more momentum than you. The best players are the ones that can use both of these methods to enter the zone and always make you wonder what in the world you're going to do, because they can just transition from one method to another at a moment's notice. Here's a fun little move that I do pretty much all the time when I enter the opponent's zone. I skate forward along the left side and notice that he's trying to cut me off by going top left. I hold down the left trigger or L2 button for vision control while holding my left stick down to the bottom right to allow me to skate towards the bottom right. Sometimes this gives me really good opportunities to score, but right here there's just way too many bodies, so I decided to protect the puck instead and force a penalty. Crazy thing about that move is you can do a lot of different things from it. I also like this pass here. I go towards the center, buy a lot of time, and then Mantha is open on the right. Skipping a little bit ahead, talking more about puck control, look at what I do on this play. My player stick handles it a little bit differently along the boards, and what I'm doing here is I'm holding down the A button or the X button on the PlayStation, and this is very effective along the boards where you're trying not to lose a lot of momentum. Many times hits will just bounce off of you if you do this, and again, I'm protecting the puck as much as I can. I would say that this is a glitch, but it's been in the game for so many years now. Obviously, you can't do something like this in the real world, because as soon as you go into the boards, you're going to lose the puck instead of holding onto it like this, but you can take advantage of that in the game, and that's why going along the boards is very, very OP. The only way to really stop someone along the boards is to tie them up. It's a pain in the ass to do manually, so a lot of people switch to their computers right before they go into you, and the computers will tie them up for you. I want to show it one more time, this time zoomed in on both of the plays just so you can see what it looks like. After this, let's go back and continue on with the rest of the clips. Here's going to be another example of passing it to the man furthest up and then going full speed along the boards. I do a little vision control so I can get closer towards the middle, and he ends up tripping me before I can make a pass. This next clip, I make sure to protect the puck really well, again keeping my body between the puck and the opposing player. Curve on the bottom left, wait for him to push up, easy pass over to the guy on the left. Then I do some passing, some cycling, and it ends up in the back of the net. When you're trying to break out, you have to see these passes. Who is the player ahead of you? See if you can get it to him. Might as well, right? A lot of people would opt to go for a saucer pass there instead with the right bumper or R1, but usually a normal hard pass will do the trick just as well. Here's an example of me going into the boards, but this time making a pass. He was right in front of me. There was nothing that Stamkos on the left could have done, so make the pass back and see what you can do from there. In that case, I decided to pass it right back to Stamkos. Here's another example of how I enter the zone. Go back a little bit, pass forward, enter the zone, skate to the middle, then pass to the left to Mantha, who has all the open ice and room. Again, when you're trying to enter the opponent's zone, look at who he's controlling and who he's leaving wide open, because this guy was the easiest pass I could ever make. It was just a no-brainer to try to give it to him. Many times, what I try to do when I enter the opponent's zone is go towards the corner boards if I can't get the high percentage shot like I do here towards the top left. And then since I can't do anything over there, I just pass it back to the defenseman who is wide open to either take a shot or go for the D-to-D one-timer. Just make sure you don't spend too long down by your blue line with the puck, otherwise your opponent's going to come after you, pressure you too much, and probably steal the puck from you. It really depends on how aggressive he is. If he isn't very aggressive, then I guess you can take all the time in the world right there, faking shots and whatnot until you get a lane to shoot at the net. Everyone's different, so you always have to exploit those weaknesses. Here I pass the man furthest up. I know Kucherov can get the breakaway, but Mantha on the right could not. Might as well risk it to try to get that breakaway to get the best scoring opportunity possible. So you can enter the zone by yourself, or you can do these nifty little passes. Pass once, pass back. It was pretty much a 2-on-1 on the left side. Obviously not your traditional 2-on-1, but just see what your opponent is doing. If he's being really aggressive, then pass it around like I do here, and then go in with the guy that's going to be by himself, which is Curry on the left, because he committed way too much to the middle guy. If he's too passive, then blow right by him towards one side. I mentioned before what the best players do on offense, but the best players on defense will be both passive and aggressive, which means they'll switch it up all the time. Because of that, you have to switch it up all the time as well to counter what they do. Personally, this year, I'm not a huge fan of deking when it comes to entering the offensive zone or just trying to get by people in general like he does there. He loses the puck instantly. I'll do it occasionally, but thanks to the low deking stats, it feels like you're risking losing the puck just by deking. So it's better to stick handle instead, because when you stick handle, you're not going to lose the puck. Don't take on additional risk unless it feels right, like I did with the windmill deke just earlier in this clip. If you get your hands on like a 99 overall squad where everyone is really good at deking, then okay, you can do it a lot more often there with some stride dekes or windmill dekes, between the legs dekes. And I'll show you guys how to do all the dekes and how to utilize them in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. I like this play here because I protected the puck along the left side, and then as soon as I knew I went right by him, I just let go of the right stick and went full speed with the left stick by pressing it down. That's kind of that transition where you have to know when to go full speed or when to just take your time and enter the zone. From here, let's go into practice mode for a little bit so I can show you these thumbs. So I can show you these stick handles so that hopefully you guys can do them as well. I find one of the best stick handles that you can do is not just spamming your right stick left and right, left and right, left and right until it looks like you're clear. It's holding the puck on the backhand like I do here around 3 o'clock, and when my opponent is pushing me along the right side, I quickly switch to around 7 o'clock to hold the puck on my forehand and behind me. You do this to your friends, you're gonna look like a Chell God, guaranteed. A lot of people think I'm doing this crazy thing by doing this move. No, it's very, very simple, but it's very, very effective. You can kind of do it from forehand to backhand, but it's slower and it feels like the animation isn't as crisp. So that's why backhand to forehand is a lot better. Notice my left stick movement as well. I make sure that my left stick follows my right stick so that my player moves with the puck. Let me show you two other nifty little moves that I like to do. This first one I kind of consider a no risk between the legs deke, but doesn't really go between the legs. It's taking the puck when it's furthest behind you and moving it to where it's furthest ahead of you. So you're pretty much at your slowest, and then you go to at your fastest. I protect the puck by holding it on my forehand around 7 o'clock in this case. Then I'm gonna let go of the right stick, and then with the left stick, I'm pressing it down so that I can hustle ahead of me. It doesn't look as great in slow motion. It looks very simple, but as you saw in the normal speed, it goes flying right in front of you. It's really good along the blue line when your opponent is standing right there trying to poke check you on the left side. You can't stick handle to the right, otherwise you're gonna go into the neutral zone, so you just let go of the right stick, and that puck will go right in front of you, push down on the left stick, and you go full speed. The next little move that I want to show you guys is a half spin. You give the idea that you're doing a spin, but you pretty much cancel it out. If your opponent's gonna go for the hit, not a good idea, because this is just pretty much a straight line maneuver, but it's really good to get around poke check. What you want to do is hold the puck on your backhand, then when you're ready, you press and hold vision control, L2 or left trigger, and then you immediately push back on your backhand with the right stick, canceling out the spin. It does a quick little animation and can beat a lot of goalies this way as well. This was way more effective in previous years, but it still exists, so I might as well show you guys, and it's a fun little thing to do. Let's finish off these clips, and I'll show you two other little things that you can do to break out. Here I'm entering his zone, and again, just protecting the puck, forcing him to do a little move, which causes a tripping penalty, but I still have control of the puck, so I might as well try to do something with it, force a one-timer, and it eventually goes into the back of the net. I'm going to start this play from behind my net. Again, focus on passing it to the man furthest up. Then it's a one-on-one situation. I do the backhand forehand thing I just showed you guys 2 minutes ago. It gets me by him, and then I take a decent shot all by myself. A method that became really popular last year on Breaking Out is the flip pass, where you launch the puck out of your zone, either towards one of your players, or you're trying to make it so that one of your players catch up to the puck. And that's what this play symbolizes, as Burns is going to get the puck. I'm going to have a lot of pressure on me. I probably could have passed this along the boards, but instead I opt for the flip pass to go top left. Usually goes a lot further, but it goes right to my player in this case. To do this, I'm holding my left stick to the top left, holding down the R1 or right bumper, and then pushing up on the right stick. Finally, I talk about this a lot in my passing video, but don't be afraid to pass back, especially along the boards before you break out, to combat the opponent's forecheck. While the objective is always to get to the player furthest up, you can make some simple, small passes in your zone before you do that. That'll do it for this video. Hopefully, I taught you guys how to break out, how to enter the zone, and how to control the puck a lot better. I'm Brianstormed. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any kind of questions or need additional help, let me know in the comments of the video.